Hi everyone, it's me, Neron. I'm back, and today I want to talk about a subject that I think it's very delicate. It's about OnlyFans and a porn career because a lot of people usually ask me about how I started and how what could I suggest to them, and I'm glad they actually ask me and not other porn performers. Not because I think they are evil or anything like that, but it's because I'm conscious, I'm self-aware that my situation is quite specific, and therefore I assume each foreign performer's experience is also very specific, and I don't think there's like a good combination of steps that you have to follow in order to achieve success. I think it's more random, absolutely. So I'm going to talk about my own experience in this case. Why I took off so fast on OnlyFans is because I'm a huge nerd, and I have to this day a channel in Spanish on YouTube, which I speak about history, specifically Roman history or British monarchy history, and mythology, either Greek, Roman, or Judeo-Christian mythology. So I already had a large fan base following me. So if you were one of my followers and you are always watching me talk about random history or mythology subjects, and all of a sudden you have a chance to see me naked and to see my bits and pieces, then it's obviously way easier because everybody's going to want to see it, you know? So that was the huge advantage I had. And also, the first month where people from my YouTube channel start migrating to my OnlyFans, I made probably the largest amount of money I had ever made out of porn in my whole career. So it also took off took off because I already had that fan base. But once they saw me, I'm not sure if they didn't like what they saw, or I have no idea, but they stopped following me because it was like this one-time curiosity. It's like, what does this guy look without clothing? And once they saw it, it's like, okay, cool, I already saw it. My curiosity is satisfied, and then I'm done. I'm not gonna keep paying for porn because, well, because it's obviously free. There's so many free websites and stuff like that. So I believe that being something so specific, I could not recommend anyone to, hey, you know what, go ahead and open an OnlyFans channel like I did and post pictures of yourself naked and some videos of you stimulating yourself. And that's how I made a lot of money. Even though that's how I made a lot of money at the beginning, it's not something that's going to work for everyone at all. So I don't think anyone should follow those footsteps. Also, something ironic is that when I started getting feedback from other actors, and also from my own followers, which I consider the most valuable feedback ever, was that at first I only did solo work. I was only showing pictures of me alone or videos of me alone, never with anyone else. So whenever I started getting these messages from followers, fans that were always trying to tell me like, hey, when are you going to have sex with somebody else, with another person, with another body? We want to see you interact with another person. Please collaborate with other actors, with other performers or models. And I was like, I'm not sure I want to take that step. And I finally did because everybody was asking me to do that, and I wanted to keep my public satisfied because, after all, this is a job, so I depend on my clients. And I started looking around online on Twitter and seeing which other models or performers were in my area, which was really fast and really easy to do. And actually, while I was doing that research, one of those performers contacted me, so it made my job much easier. And I was nervous as fuck because this guy had like thousands and thousands of Twitter followers. So I thought I was like, oh my god, I'm this new guy, and this guy is like super famous. And why would he be interested in me? The first message here is everybody's going to be interested in you once you're new. So you're going to have like a lot of requests of a lot of performers that are going to say they want to record with you. And it's true, and they really want to do it. But it's basically because you are new. So since they've spent years performing, it's very common that people who have spent a few years in the porn industry, you are going to have to repeat people because we are not so many performers. So whenever there's a new guy coming in, everybody wants him because we want to have new material with new people all the time so that we keep our audiences engaged. So when somebody's new on OnlyFans and wants to start doing porn with other performers, it's going to be very easy because they are either going to be contacted by all of us, or they can just write randomly and we are going to be interested in that. Of course, there are a lot of foreign performers which have kind of lost their minds and they think they're too famous, or they want to see how many followers you have and to see if you're worthy of collaborating with them. I know about their existence because I've been told of them, but I'm lucky I never met them. There's always going to be assholes in every industry, not specifically on porn. So if you happen upon one of these people, just let it go by, because the large majority is going to be interested in new meat, and that's what you are in that moment when you start working. So just take advantage of that situation, because you can be new for a very long time, because you can be new in your city and then travel to another place where you're going to be the new guy there for the couple of weeks you're going to spend there, and then you just start taking off and recording with a lot of famous people or models that have already a large fan following, which is something you really want to have in content. Again, going back to this very first encounter, I started recording with him. We did this duo scene, and it was really cool. And then he suggested one of his friends to record with me, and then to shoot a threesome together. So everything just started falling in place, one after the other. I felt very free, very secure to talk to this guy, because he was really nice, really open, and I thought these people were like, he's like really famous, but he's also very nice. This is really cool. So I asked everything I had to ask, and he was very kind and replied to every single one of my questions. And we keep in touch and are still good friends to this day. So again, I was lucky on that, because probably not everyone is going to have the same feeling, the same chemistry with their first performer, which I think it's very important. And that's why whenever I meet a new performer, I try to be that nice guy to him, because that's what I had, and that's what I think probably everyone deserves and is very good for one's own self-worth. Because that confidence is going to take you a long way, not on porn, but actually in every single career. So if I can help in building that feeling, I'm definitely going to do that. A funny thing is that after a year and a half from working with other models and doing collaborations and threesomes and foursomes and orgies and stuff like that, when I was already inside the whole system, I stepped back a little and started checking at which of my videos were the most viewed. And the funny thing was that my most viewed videos were all the videos where I was alone. And I thought, what the fuck? These people were begging me to collaborate with other people, which makes it so much more work than I usually used to have, which was just putting my phone up and masturbating and then enjoying myself and then uploading it. And everybody was happy. And it turns out those were the videos that make people the happiest, because they wanted to see me having sex with somebody else for some reason. Those videos with collaborations, of course, they have a lot of views, but not as much as my solo videos. And that's really funny. I think everybody should be like paying attention to which ones are the videos that are most viewed, so that you keep doing that. Sometimes we experiment with new stuff. That's always really good, because we tend to give our audiences some sort of variation or something like that, so that our content becomes friendlier, funner, and stuff. Funner, is that even a word? Well, you know what I mean. It's always good to diversify. Another variant that I think is very important is how you start on OnlyFans. And I mean OnlyFans or just for fans or Fansly or whichever website you want to start on. Because I was lucky enough that I started it as some sort of experiment, because I was working on my master's degree for sexology, and I was doing an essay on sex work, and I wanted to experience stigma firsthand. So that's why I made an OnlyFans. I created that account. I told my family and friends that I was going to go through with that. So everybody was aware of what I was doing, even my teachers. After the first month where I saw how much money I was making, I thought, hey, this suddenly stopped being a social experiment and it's becoming like true. I really want to go through with this. I enjoyed it a lot. But it didn't start out of need or out of I have an economical need. I need to get money to pay for my stuff or else I'm going to have a really bad time, which is something people tend to do too. I've had a lot of friends that were not able to work on their fields and started working on OnlyFans to get an extra income, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to pay rent or stuff like that. That, of course, puts a lot more pressure on the situation. Again, my situation was a very privileged one because I didn't have the need for money. I just happened upon it for a very funny reason, which was scientific research. And then I enjoyed the extra income I was getting. So And that was kind of it. And I'm sure not a lot of people are going to go into OnlyFans because of the same thing. Also, I had all the support of my family and friends because they knew beforehand. A lot of people I know are scared. The guys that approach me and say, "Hey, I'm starting on this, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to record myself on videos, but I'm not showing my face. Should I use a mask?" And of course, all that is because there might be some backlash to starting on porn, either because your family might find out and you may be in trouble because they could have a bad reaction or disown you or stop having contact with you, which of course is something very valuable for some people, or because you don't want to damage your future and maybe more formal work. I'm not sure, I don't know, maybe a lawyer or an architect wouldn't want to have a boyfriend in porn, and I'm lucky enough to be a sexologist, so if somebody would refuse to work with me because I worked in porn, I would use that as a good filter that this person is probably not ready to start working on their own sexual stigma. So probably my career is one that goes very good hand in hand with porn performers. I'm not sure anybody else can say the same, but I was lucky in that matter. I had my family supporting me. I actually got haters, which was the first intention. The main intention was to get into sex work so that I would get all the hate online and feel what they felt, what most sex workers felt. Even though I did that, I still have had something most of them don't, which is that when I got sort of blackmailed and said, "Yeah, probably your father is not going to be happy to find out what you're doing when I send him this link to your account," I'm like, my father absolutely knows what I'm doing and he's sort of proud of it, so you have absolutely nothing to hurt me with. I could say that. Probably most performers don't. So again, I think you have to evaluate a lot on how you want to work on that. Of course, me as a porn performer, if I have the option to shoot with someone showing his face or someone who's wearing a mask, I'm probably going to pick up the guy showing his face. So wearing a mask is probably not so attractive or not so appealing, but what I usually say is there's a market for everyone. So if you want to use a mask, use it, because probably some people are going to be into it. And so just go ahead with it and explore it and see other performers, find other performers that do the same thing you're going to do and see what works in their accounts, what works with their target, with their audience, and try to see how you can work on your own, building on top of that. See what extra you can do to gain that sort of followers that are into what you are selling. So I think it also includes a lot of research. Most people think, oh, sex work, so it's going to be easy work, and it's not. You have to do a lot of research. You have to be constant. You have to be persistent. You have to face a lot of fears that you probably don't have to face in any other careers. So it's not easy work. It's not something like, okay, I'm going to record myself having sex, which is always fun, and then I'm done. It's like, no, you have to record it, definitely. But you have to set up the cameras or hire a cameraman that's good at shooting porn, which is something quite different. You have to be able to edit your videos or pay to someone who edits videos, which is something I actually do for a lot of porn performers. They pay me to edit their videos, and that's another great way to generate income out of the porn industry, because most of the porn performers are performers, not video editors or anything like that. So you have to know how to do it yourself, or you have to hire someone. So it includes an investment. And then you also have to have experience handling social media, which is another subject, because I also get paid by other porn actors to handle the social media, because most of them don't know how to do that. And again, that's a great way to generate income out of the porn industry. So that's another advice you can take. So you have to have experience in that. And handling social media means posting constantly, every single day, some new material, thinking about new captions, creating the material enough to publish for 30 days a month. Either it'd be like photo shoots or short videos or collaborations or masturbation videos or whatever, but it is demanding. So I think you have to take into the account what it takes to really shine in this world, which is because, again, it's not easy and it demands a lot. It's an actual job. So you have to take that into consideration if you want to jump into it. And of course, there are a lot of performers that are going to be talking about their own experiences, but as I stated at the beginning of this video, I don't think we can take the experience of anybody and say, okay, this is the right path to take. When it comes to sex, when it comes to sex work, when it comes to sexual desires and how people consume porn, it's so varied. That's why we're lucky enough that there's a market for everyone. You can do whatever the hell you want and somebody's going to want to buy it. But you have to do your research, invest time into that, and then invest time in doing it better than the rest that are already doing it. So, well, that's the message I wanted to share today with you guys. I hope it's useful. So if you're actually going to go through with this, I wish you the best. And you can always contact me on my social media if you ever have any questions. So good luck with that, and see you later.